Positive mindset required. I have now taken a shower, relaxed a little bit, and hopefully I can simply slow down and share. So, where I left off, our wedding. Our wedding was on day two, which for me was important because I didn't want to, which was a C day. I did not want to interrupt people's vacation, meaning we're paying all this money to enjoy the port days. I didn't want to steal from the vacation experience by having the wedding on a port day. So I chose a sea day to get married on the water, which again, it was beautiful. Captain drove a little off course so that we could have our wedding outside on the perch. So I have no problem sharing the itinerary that I created for our 5 night cruise. So of course, day one, embarkation, the half day. This was the day we get on the boat. We met with our on boat wedding coordinator, and we at the end of the tour we had all of our wedding party meet at the perch, and we did a rehearsal. We had a wedding party. If it's only you, maybe you don't want a wedding rehearsal, but we had a wedding party. 9 bridesmaids, a flower girl, and 5 groomsmen. Parents, grandparents, all of the things. So we needed that rehearsal and it was amazing. So for the rehearsal, we brought a Bluetooth capable MP3 player. It's important. We didn't to have the Bluetooth component. We had all of our music. We had sung a walk. We had about 20 minutes of music as people were sitting, coming in. We had music playing. Just got to make sure you get the MP3 player there on time for the sound team the day of the wedding. We're a little late, but we prepped. We had a hour of cocktail music on there. We were able to have music for the cocktail hour. We were able to have different songs played out through the wedding. Of course, the song for the bridesmaids to walk in, groomsmen, the groom, the captain. We had music. So having that Bluetooth capable MP3 player with it broken down. This folder is for cocktail hour. This folder is for wedding. Then we had our beach music too. We also brought a little portable speaker on there, which was a lifesaver because at the wedding rehearsal, entertainment wasn't there. So immediately we had the MP3 player that we could connect to our portable Bluetooth speaker. A nice little size is actually sitting on the table right here. And this thing, Bola, but don't know, Amazon. However, but that speaker, it was loud enough. It did the trick. So we were able to have the music, allow people to hear the music for the first time, get their walking pace, figure out the locations on the perch. It makes sense for your wedding party to come up from the stairs. It's not. It's about maybe 7, 8 stairs, maybe even less, that they have to walk up to the next area. But it just gives your guests a chance to be apart from the wedding party and gives a little staging area. MP3 player, speaker, and again, brought our flowers with permission on board. It made a difference. And then having that rehearsal, being able to walk through, it was very important because we had that large wedding party. So very key components, important things for day one. And if you can, I would encourage doing that rehearsal. So for us, we had day one where we did the rehearsal, some walkthroughs. We did the sail away party, which comes with a free glass of champagne immediately following the rehearsal. So after we finished the rehearsal, we went straight to the sail away party because it was right there. So it worked out really, really well. Our actual wedding on day two, the first sea day, we had our wedding at 5:30 p.m. because we wanted the sunset to be just optimal for our wedding pictures. And we really, really got some great wedding pictures. We did not bring a photographer on board. Virgin Voyage said, hey, just give your phone to team member and they'll help take pictures. We didn't test out that theory either. I have so many amazing friends and family that were just taking pictures, and that 47th guest that jumped on at the last minute, she stepped in and she said, "Oh, I got this." And Sora took some amazing photos for us. We did travel with the tripod stand that helped out as well. So we did definitely have the tripod stand. Had about two or three of them, different people that brought them. But having a photographer could have been really great too. Type A personality. I had written out the pictures that I wanted: bridesmaids, groomsmen, wedding with the family, those kind of things to help it flow a little bit better. And I gave that out to the people that were going to take pictures. My maid of honor uh, absolutely stepped in and helped with that as well. So we did night one dinner. So we went for our itinerary, which again, I have no problem sharing. We had the wedding rehearsal, the sail away party, and then people were able to take a moment, make sure everything is done, feeling, explore all the things. And then at 7 p.m. on that embarkation day, that's when we did our cocktail hour. So cocktail hour. Anita said, "Hey, you can just provide the list of drinks when you get on the boat." I'm so happy we did not do that because there was just so much going on. So after that, I want to say that day 15 meeting where we actually met Bousse and we knew that we were going to be working with her, I took the initiative to go ahead and send the drink list at that time. So I asked for their famous sangria that they have on the ship. We did Long Island iced tea. We did, I requested to have 40 shots ready to go. It's called a green tea shot. I requested to have those. Old fashioned margaritas, and then we had a non-alcoholic mojito and maybe a non-alcoholic spritzer. So they had those that's ready to go. But during that cocktail hour, they will make anything that you want. The dinner drinks, limited, more specific. But the cocktail hour, they said whatever you want, send us the list. We'll have it ready in batches. Because of where we chose, there was not a bar in the area. So we did our cocktail hour in the scene. The scene was dope, more private, more intimate, not a lot of seating. Not a lot of seating at all. Difficult for the guests to even find the location. I did send out a map, a picture with the itinerary, but people don't read. That's beside the point. I ain't about to get salty. But it's kind of like it's right off into a nook, so a little bit harder to find. And with our large party, it was a little tighter in there. The MP3 player, we were able to walk in with our little MP3 player, automatically connect up to the speaker in the room space, and I was able to literally walk around with the MP3 player in my hand and keep adjusting music as we saw fit in that space. At the cocktail hour, that's where some of our wedding party did toasts and speeches as well. Intimate, we're controlling the music, it's just us in the space. So that is a good place to do that cocktail hour. And it was, notice was we didn't have to do it all in one day, right? So on day 2, we did the wedding, but on day 1, we did the cocktail hour instead of where they listed out and you may look at it and feel like you got to go cocktail hour, wedding, dinner, or just do them all in one day. It was fun and kind of beneficial to spread out that open barness of it. So 1 full hour of the open bar. I will tell you, the cocktail hour, show up on time. They're going to be like 7 p.m. It's going. It's ready to go. Also with the cocktail hour, they provided hors d'oeuvres. And so little small snafus there because of my restrictions. And some of the things like the skewered chicken, it had cheese on it, so I wasn't able to because I don't do dairy. So some little small hiccups there. They on the list, they just had world famous, but they forgot to actually put sangria behind it. So the sangria wasn't there. but again, they were able to. Busse gave us her WhatsApp. We were able to send her a message, and she was able to work things in the background, which is why I deemed her Busse the boss. Um, we were able to get some of those things. Like some things we weren't able to get take care of it, like with the food. So I was some of the things I just wasn't able to eat, wasn't able to try. We for the hors d'oeuvres we did a curry shrimp, a watermelon, something, the chicken skewer, and maybe like, it was one of the. I think it was a total of four hors d'oeuvres, and then all the different drinks, whatever drink that you wanted. They were supposed to be able to go out, go get it from the nearest bar, and come back. At one point, the bartender, he was like, "No, what we have here is just what we have here." Absolutely, that's not what we were told. He was pretty rude, actually, and Busse did her magic in the background, talked with him, and then he had kind of a little attitude adjustment, which was lovely uh, with that because at the cocktail hour, any drink that you want. With the dinner cocktails, the four dinner cocktails that were chosen, they well actually I want to say all drinks had to be maybe under $25 a glass, which nothing major. We just couldn't pick anything astronomical, but we don't drink that anyway, so we try to do that. So yeah, we had the drink set up, and again, I was so happy we had all that information sent in, and I had the email documentation to be able to pull up and say, this is the email what I sent you. We agreed to it, and this is what it is. Because as some errors were made, the pushback, no pushback because I have it in writing. So it's a good CYA. So the day one rehearsal, cocktail hour, and day one is also the pajama party. So we had matching pajamas, all the things, but I had to get my hair done. So we snuck off, and my one of my bridesmaids was actually my hairstylist, and she rolled my hair up. So we got to the pajama party at like 12 p.m. I'm sorry, 12 a.m. It was mad late. People were so exhausted, so tired. We went out in Miami. Some people didn't even come. So listen, the pajama party is a great thing. It's fun. But people, we were tired. We grown. Some people just needed a nap. Some people made it as we were leaving at like 1 a.m. Some people were just like, "Oh, I fell asleep in the hammock." That hammock, if you have the hammock on your balcony, that hammock will rock you to sleep. If once you sit in it, it's a wrap. Know that, but enjoy that. Day two, we did the wedding. We did a brunch with just me and the now husband. Again, not a traditional wedding. We were not trying to not see each other. The night before, after we did brunch, that's when we actually did brunch, and then we did a competition with the daughter and some friends, and we beat the ship's cruise record. As a matter of fact, it was pretty fun, and it just got your mind completely off. You had to really focus on that competition. We came in second place, but first place and second place beats the boat's record for fastest put together. So that was pretty cool. And then from there, another thing we asked, hey, we would like to separate. Is there an extra room on board where we can have the groom and the groomsmen get dressed? I will stay in our room. Is there another room? And so they were gracious enough to provide us with a space for him to get dressed. Mind you, it was definitely an interior suite, small little room. However, it gave us another room without having to inconvenience another member of the wedding party or a family member. We had a plan, but it changed. No big deal. That I'm not gonna be petty. We had a plan, but made those adjustments, and we were absolutely able to have the groomsmen go over to that room. What they told us was that they had a room that had maintenance, and if they got it fixed in time, then they would let us use it, and they did. So who knows if that was the case or not, but neither here nor there. We were able to ask and have a room for the groom to get dressed in. They didn't spend that much time. They didn't really do all the, as the bride and the bridesmaids and my mom, my grandmother, mother-in-law, daughter, we were all in a space and having a good time taking pictures, doing all the things in the robes. Uh, it was beautiful, and I was so grateful to have that moment and to have him in another space to be able to just relax. And they didn't spend too much time in the room. They got dressed and they kind of went and took pictures out on the ship, which I recommend. I wish we would have got out a little bit earlier to take some pictures around the ship. However, you increase the risk of running into them, right? And so that was the thing. As we were coming across the boat, it was amazing. All of us were in our gowns, walking across the boat, and the people were clapping and cheering for us and saying good luck, have fun, congratulations, all the things. I felt like a movie star as we walked towards the wedding, and that was, yeah, that was a dope moment. Uh, and then after we did, so you have to provide, they provide you with sample scripts, but you can create your entire script. So what I did was, because we had the music, I created a document with the songs, who will be walking in, where's the changes. I incorporated right below that the entire wedding script using some of the things they did sent us with some of our faith based, you know, God is the center of our life and it's very important to us. So we wanted to add that into our script. And so, but I will tell you, I felt as though I was just typing too much and writing out too much. But I believe our wedding in totality, from people walking in, vow exchange, about 20 to 25 minutes for everything. So take your time. Things just move faster. When you plan things out, things can just start to move faster with high energy and anxiousness and nervousness. So with at the wedding, there's a champagne toast as well. After the wedding, we did a champagne toast. The captain led that toast. It was beautiful. And then we requested that all of the decor, the arch, and everything stayed up for an additional 30 minutes after the service. So they give you about 30 minutes for your wedding ceremony. But of course, they give you leeway. They're not rushing you. But I did request 30 to 45 minutes to just leave all the decor up for us to take pictures. And they, again, accommodated that request. It was no big deal. They did have to move everything in much closer. So some pictures you may see where the arch is at like the very edge. And yeah, it gives more space. But because the wind was so high, it had to kind of be moved in closer for safety. So it was a much shorter walk than what we did at the rehearsal when the boat was not moving. But during the wedding, the boat was moving, and everything, dresses, hair, everything was blowing. But again, beautiful. So after the wedding, we of course did photos, and then I wanted people to stay in their outfits. I may not have made that fully clear because at the wedding dinner was the cake cutting, and where again we took more pictures. So people were able to kind of take a moment, have a drink. I was like, use the bar tab that you have, grab a drink, chill out, but don't do too much because at the dinner we got free drinks. So at the dinner, you create your menu based on their menu. I realized I was told that, but it also was disappointing because why not have access to the entire menu? 47 people, I guess, 50 people, whatever it could have been. But you're still serving everybody in the restaurant, but you still have to choose three like main dishes, which we chose the fish, the chicken, and a steak, just to kind of cover all those. Remember, I told you we didn't get the lamb chops because we thought we were going to get that in Test Kitchen. Absolutely a fail. And then you pick like 4 sides, those 4 drinks, and the like 2 desserts. But again, your wedding cake will be there, so you'll end up having like 3 desserts. But also remember, whatever you pick on that menu, put your in writing. So the snafu at that dinner was A, they spelled my new last name, Sandiford. They spelled it wrong on the menu. So they printed out these beautiful menus. Beautiful. And as I'm looking at the menu, I see at the top sailing into Sandiford. But it says sailing into Sandford. So the name was spelled wrong. I was sad. And look, the people noticed, but nobody wanted to tell me. Baby, you ain't got to hold no secrets. I noticed. Y'all know me. I definitely noticed. The energy's getting high. Let me relax. Take a breath. So the last name was spelled wrong. Um, the items that we order, it was some changes. We don't do pork. I don't do beef, and I do extraordinarily limited dairy. So there were things that were sent in that were specifically requested. Can we have a small portion of this without bacon? Can we have, and so that information was sent back. When we got to the restaurant, they told us we had no knowledge of this. Nope, we didn't know that you requested no bacon for this or that. Let me get that menu. So as you can see here, we did ask them to print a copy with her name spelled right. And they said, well, those are printed on the mainland and we don't know if we can do that. Fair, but the request is still there. We would love to have a copy with our names spelled right. The emotions were high and the things. But for our starters, I didn't grab a one page. For our starters, we chose clam chowder, wedge salad, crispy polenta, and the shrimp and grits. So the shrimp and grits was one of the things that had bacon, smoked bacon with it. We don't eat it. So they definitely had to make the chef came out, talked with us, and it was later in the meal, but it was no big deal because we were able to move around, talk with people, socialize a little bit with the people that were at our table. It was a beautiful setup, and it was just important that we didn't allow the little things to ruin our special day. I was a little because it was like something else, but in the grand scheme of things, it just wasn't that big of a deal. Like with the wedge salad, they were able to easily accommodate that. But again, I had emails, things in writing that I was able to share with Bousse showing, no, this request was stated that they could accommodate, because for her, she was just simply like, oh, we didn't know. Again, which is why it was great to have Bousse versus Anita, where it's like, no, Anita, I told you this. And I would have had been more of that space, but I was able to transfer my mind. Bousse, you didn't know, but whatever you can do to help out, great. And so she was in the background talking with the chef, talking with the team to create the portions without the bacon and the limited dairy. And so the clam chowder without the bacon was one of the things that the husband really wanted to try. And so some of the things we were like, don't even worry about it. But they were able to make a small portion of the clam chowder. But it was supposed to be for everybody, but it was only offered to me and the groom, which I was like, fine. At least he was able to try the clam chowder with those things. So documentation will save you some headache with that. After the wedding dinner, which we had in the wake, we took pictures on the stairwell in the wake, which the wake would have been our rain plan. Let me tell you about that. So with the wake being our rain plan and the wake being a location for dinner, we would have had to, if it would have rained, everything would have been scrambled. We would have had to move the wedding from 5:30 start time to a 3:30 start time, because dinner for the entire ship starts at 5:30. The first early seating for dinner is at 5:30 p.m. And so I'm, again, grateful that the captain was able to move on around the rain and us not having to move everything up. It would have changed so much, and as such, trying to get everybody just there on time for the 5:30 was a thing. So If it would have been moved up, it would have been crazy. But if you want a 3:30 wedding, inside the wake is beautiful. The stairwell that the bride will walk down, it's beautiful. With that, the wake is a beautiful, elegant restaurant, and you would have been able to see the ocean views outside of that window space as well. That night, we did. After that, I think we may have done the club. We just went partying around the ship. We didn't make any reservations, but things fill up fast on Virgin Voyage. Like some of the parties, they get filled up fast. But it was no big deal to us. We just moved around and we just had a good time every place that we went. So after dinner, I did change dresses. I had one dress for the wedding and I had a different dress for the dinner. So I was able to change dresses. All my bridesmaids and groomsmen, they stayed in their outfits to some degree, and we were able to get some beautiful pictures within the wake as well. Night one, we did Lucky Lotus as our restaurant. Two, of course, we did the wake. Night three, we did Gumbe. It's cool, it's interactive, but your table has to split up. They cut us a little bit short. Again, I want to try to help everybody, but I was like, just relax, let somebody else do it, and they'll figure it out. So we were short tables at Gumbe, but they figured it out and they got everybody seated. It was cool. Day four, the test kitchen. Don't do it. The test kitchen was a cool culinary experiences with small portions, which is why we told people to eat before they got there. But the menu that they had on our 5 night, day five, we did kind of just a smaller meal at Pink Agave. That's the Mexican restaurant. Pink Agave, the food was amazing. Test Kitchen, man. Gumbe, the people told me it didn't have enough seasoning at all. The wake was cool. Lucky Lotus was cool. I enjoyed Lucky Lotus Razzle Dazzle for brunch. I wish we would have scrapped the test kitchen and did the Extra Virgin, the Italian restaurant. That was one that was recommended, but we were like, pasta? That's just regular. I make pasta. But the test kitchen, it was a fun experience. If you just want to do the experience, go for it. But the menu that we had, it was not a good menu at all. It just wasn't. With picking the wedding cake, we chose a lemon cake base with vanilla filling and the crunch pearls, just in case anybody wanted to know. And we chose the classic chic luxe. We did everything chic luxe, from the flowers that we added extra flowers. And when you see the picture, know that we purchased all smalls, but they are just on different tiers. So for the flowers that we purchased from the ship, we purchased about $600 worth of flowers, and we did all smalls just on different tiers. We had 2 small tiers, or the medium and the small tier at the front, and then a large tier at the back. Hopefully I can drop in a picture so you guys can see that. But it was beautiful. So there was no real reason for us, especially with the wind being so high, for us to get the medium or the large size. Just having the tiers and getting small, little hack. Go for the small. Keep it cute and keep it moving. Also, something we asked for, because I had my beautiful bonus daughter as the flower girl on an adult-only cruise. I get it. I keep saying flower girl, but she's a grown woman, a beautiful grown woman. And so with that, we asked about flowers, being able to throw flowers. And so Virgin Voice provided us with real rose petals, because we didn't want to, you throw fake rose petals with the wind so high, it's going off the boat, you're polluting the ocean. But with real rose petals, it's just simply, going off into nature and biodegradable. It's good. So Virgin Voice did provide us with a little bit of rose petals for our flower girl. And so that was, again, a little hack. Ask and you shall receive, or you will be told no. But either way, at least you asked. So main takeaways from this video is: have your MP3 player with Bluetooth capability, have your speaker, for your wedding rehearsal. If you have a flower girl, flower adult, ask for the rose petals. I did bring my own the flower basket. I brought that on board myself. I had my um, the the um, the lady, Stephanie, that did the flowers, that brought the flowers. She brought extra flowers, and so the flowers that we purchased for the ship, she added our color to that on the ship. The only thing she could not do, she couldn't add anything to the arch for safety purposes. And I absolutely understand that. But all the other flower arrangements that were around, including my bouquet, she was able to add that pop of peach to it, and it made it just, it took it up a notch. It made it beautiful. So bringing your own florals, clearing everything, having it in writing before you get on the ship is just, me and my groom are both military veterans. Him retired, me 6 years and finished. But just having that mindset of having the documentation, having things done in triplicate, go for it. Right? It just supports you. It makes the short time that you have with this magical moment so much more efficient. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Cocktail hour. Pick the drinks you want. Send those in advance. And I think I'm going to end up having a part 3. Yeah, but catch these pictures. Positive mindset required through it all. Like, it was an amazing thing, regardless of the last name being spelled wrong, regardless of not being able to have the starter that we wanted at the time because it still had bacon in it. It was just fun. And those things on the grand scale of just having so much love and beauty around you. The things that did go wrong were minute. They felt big for a second, but again, scientifically, the emotions chemically only last 90 seconds in the brain. Then after that, it's everything that you put behind it. So release it. It's still May, and May is mental health awareness, but positive mindset required. Let me see what the other tidbits I have. Oh yeah, because Bimini and the ports. I got it. Come on, hold on.